Hi there, boys and girls. That story was rather short. Let's read another. Little Miss Plump. Can you find letter P? There's two of them. Right here at the beginning and the end. Plump. And be careful calling someone plump. That might upset them. That's rather rude. Little Miss Plump certainly was. What? Plump. I'll say as plump as a cushion. She lived in Cherry Cake Cottage. Again, you might hurt someone's feelings calling them plump. One lovely summer morning, a Monday, she awoke earlier than usual. She felt hungry, and so she went into her kitchen and cooked herself some breakfast. Some breakfast indeed. Sausages. Now, if you or I had sausages for breakfast, how many sausages would we each have? One? Perhaps two? Maybe three? Guess how many sausages Miss Plump had for breakfast? 66. Count them. 66 succulent, sizzling sausages, which is difficult to say, and even more difficult to eat, unless you're Miss Plump. 66 succulent, sizzling sausages? That's a lot of sausages. Miss Plump cut the last sausage on her plate in half and popped one piece into her mouth. She sighed contentedly and popped the other piece in her mouth. That was nice, she thought to herself. Now what shall I have? Oh dear, she's still hungry. Guess what? Toast. Now, if you or I had toast for breakfast, how many slices would we each have? One? Maybe two? Perhaps three? Guess how many slices of toast Miss Plump had for breakfast? 33. 33 thick, tasty slices of tempting toast. And jelly. Just as Miss Plump was licking the last crumb of the 33 slices of toast from her lips, there was a knock at the door of Cherry Cake Cottage. It was the postman. The letter carrier. Letter for you, Miss Plump, he said, cheerfully. Oh, good, smiled Miss Plump, for she didn't often get letters. Would you like a cup of tea while you're here? She said. I'm going to have one. One indeed. Just look at the size of little Miss Plump's teapot. It's a very large teapot. The postman had one cup of tea and a chat, and then he thanked Miss Plump and left. Miss Plump poured herself another cup. Another after the 11 other cups she'd already had, and she opened the letter. It was from Mr. Greedy. Dear Miss Plump, Mr. Greedy had written, next Wednesday is my birthday. Please come to tea at 4 o'clock. Little Miss Plump was delighted. She hadn't seen her old friend Mr. Greedy for quite some time. Wednesday was a lovely day, and after a little light lunch, well, we'll tell you what it was later, Miss Plump drove off in her car to Mr. Greedy's, but before she went, she put something in the back seat of her car, something large, Mr. Greedy's birthday present. At precisely 4 o'clock, little Miss Plump pulled up in front of Mr. Greedy's roly-poly sort of house. Mr. Greedy was there to greet her. Hello, Miss Plump, he smiled. How lovely to see you after all this time. Happy birthday, Mr. Greedy, laughed little Miss Plump, and then she gave him a kiss on the cheek. I think she likes Mr. Greedy. Mr. Greedy blushed. Do come in, he said. Tea's all ready. Little Miss Plump was following Mr. Greedy into his house when she suddenly remembered something. You know what it is, don't you? That's right. It was Mr. Greedy's birthday present. Wait just a moment, she said. Can you please help me lift something out of the back of my car? She smiled. It's quite heavy, she added. Certainly, agreed Mr. Greedy, blushing again. I think Mr. Greedy likes Little Miss Plump. There, in the back seat of Little Miss Plump's car was the biggest birthday cake you had ever seen in your whole life. A huge, enormous, gigantic, colossal raisin cake with thick pink icing on top and strawberry jam in the middle. I put only one candle on it, explained Little Miss Plump as they carried it to the house, because I don't know how old you are. Oh, you really shouldn't have, laughed Mr. Greedy, licking his lips. But I'm glad you did. Remember, Mr. Greedy likes to eat everything. He's always eating lots and lots. I baked it today, said Little Miss Plump, and then she chuckled. I have a confession to make, she said. This isn't the only cake I baked today. The first one looked so delicious, I ate it for breakfast. She already baked one and ate it for breakfast. She chuckled again. And the second one looked so delicious, she went on. I ate it for lunch. Mr. Greedy grinned. Time for tea, he said. The end. Little Miss Plump. I hope you enjoyed the stories tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to practice your letters. Bye-bye.